Today's video is all about MASA, fair AI powered by the people. Today we're going to be doing a deep dive into this project, looking into some of the fundamentals such as the team, the tokenomics, the utility, and the overall value proposition, trying to figure out whether this project has what it takes to make it to our portfolio. So you know what, let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins are looking for opportunity. And the question is MASA an opportunity? Guys, we're going to be doing a deep dive. We're going to be looking into MASA, the project, the project that a lot of people are talking about, fair AI powered by the people. You know, we're going to be doing a deep dive based on the retail investor. I'm going to be using the website as the main platform, any documentation that is provided, any websites that are provided, but ultimately we're using the official data that is given to us by the team, and we're taking a retail investor perspective, because ultimately what we want to know is MASA worth it? Are we secure? Is the retail investor interested? Should they be interested? So let's take a look at some of these details. Let's begin. Let's see what's going on here. Fair AI powered by the people. Sounds interesting. Now, you know, as I was doing research, I was trying to figure out what narrative MASA is. And I can tell you this, there's a bit of confusion out there, even for myself, given that there's a bit of this DeFi-ness happening when you're doing research, MASA as a DeFi financial player, and then all of a sudden now AI. So there is a bit of confusion. We're going to do our best to kind of navigate this confusion and address the confusion as we go. Okay, so let's keep on going. We can earn, we can build. Obviously, in earning, as usually this is where the retail investor gets involved, and then the building is where the back end, the developers and so on, getting all involved. Okay, so that's interesting there. MASA is a decentralized AI network where people earn by contributing data. Okay, so right away, we start to think DePIN. We contribute data. Maybe there's a DePIN infrastructure here. Most likely there is, and I think there is. You know, we're contributing data. And why are we contributing data? And when we see the concept of AI, we already know what we're really doing. We're contributing to the AI's intelligence, right? Providing data so that AI could be, make some good, intelligent, communications, whatever it is, whatever the AI agent or AI model, whether it be a learning model, or whatever the case is, a language model, it basically is going to be using our data to improve its interactions with the user. Okay, so how we get rewarded is providing data, and of course we know our data is very valuable, guys. Super valuable. AI developers can build anything, anywhere with the world's data. I don't see much of an ecosystem at the current moment. I try to look into the applications and what was going on, and I don't see much of an ecosystem, just the native ecosystem itself. So we can open this up in a new tab to see if we got any more happening. Earn by contributing data and compute. Again, contributing data and compute, which is computational resources, which is good. The more data you contribute, the more you earn passively. So you are the product. Your data is the product, and you are getting rewarded for providing that product. Okay, so think about it like that. Nothing is free, and ultimately, if you're going to earn something, you got to ask yourself, what are you giving up? And you're giving up your privacy or your data. But if they're going to be using, and they are using, a safety, security measures, right? A zero knowledge proof. It is actually not that bad, because really you're giving data, but no one knows who that data belongs to, which is safe overall. This is the latest trend, zero knowledge proof, as providing as a security measure. Good stuff there. Let's keep on going down. Build anything, anywhere with the world's data, real time and static, structured, annotated and vectorized data. So data in general. Data source includes, okay, this for me is important, because this is the way we can build persona, right? This is where we can build character. X, Discord, Telegram, podcast, YouTube, TikTok, public and gated web data, and more. This is important because the reality is the data, or I would like to say AI agents, but ultimately it's the learning models, whether it's an AI agent or not, or whatever the case is, the bot, whether it is looking for data, and if it's trying to replicate an individual or an organization or anything like that, we got to think about where this data can come from that could give us that detail. Well, we know that our personas, whether we're an institution or an individual, a private business, or even someone on social media, myself included, ultimately the majority of who I am as a creator is on these platforms. So this is an interesting concept, gathering data on an individual, again, on an organization, pulling it into the AI model, and basically training that model using this data. That's interesting. Obviously, it's not something new. This is happening already within many other projects, but definitely keeping up with the trend. Use MASA data to optimize AI agents, fine-tune LLMs, and power applications, all accessible via API. So that's good, because even if you want to make a third-party application and use some of this value proposition, you could tap into its API, which is good there. If you're a dev, you know what I mean. Let's move on. Most popular use cases. So what's the utility behind? Now, I'm not talking about the utility behind MASA as a token. This is one thing that we really have to understand, is that utility as a project, meaning it could be considered the tech, and then utility as far as token utility, right? And now we're talking about MASA as a token, right? Or MASA as a project. Its most popular use case, which is, if you start looking on socials, whether it be CoinGecko and so on, it talks a lot about DeFi and finance and all of this kind of stuff. But when we join the website, when we actually go on the website, I see MASA as an AI project. It's very confusing, because I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, let me know in the comment section below what's going on here, but it looks like its history or its past was very well intertwined within the DeFi space, and maybe they pivoted into the AI space. And this is fine. Obviously, it shows a little bit of confusion. I think a little bit needs to be updated here and there, but ultimately identifying opportunities where to pivot is also a viable strategy. And it definitely, the packaging here looks really good. So let's talk about its most popular use cases. Hyper-personalized AI companions. So we can make companions agents. Maybe the word agents might be a little bit more appropriate here, given that currently it is a buzzword. Digital twins, maybe, duplication of a persona of an individual. And we've seen projects already, dabbling into this. Now, the only difference between other projects that I've talked about in the past and this one is the fact that this application or this infrastructure right here is completely decentralized from a tech perspective, right? They have a DePIN infrastructure with nodes and so on. So this is interesting. Real-time sentiment analysis, real-time social graphs, AI trading bots, and more, much more. So you can think about what the AI models or what AI can be used for. It can basically be, tacked on into this list. Okay, so this is great stuff there. Contact us, get started. MASA utility as a token. So now we're talking about as a token. This is interesting. It's like it's reading my mind, exactly what I'm looking for. So far the website's doing a decent job, giving me that clarity as far as MASA as an AI project. Users earn MASA by contributing data and compute. So data and computing power. Users, developers, and validators stake MASA to earn up to 25% APY. That's quite a bit, guys. Don't get totally hooked on these APY numbers. When things are too good to be true, you just got to be modest about things. But ultimately, what keeps me most interested is that staking usually involves a little bit of other rewards other than APY. So users, developers, and validators stake MASA, but what about the governance? And this is where the last point is about governance. Before we go to the last point, developers pay MASA to access MASA data and LLM services and so on. So it's a unit of exchange, which is obviously a currency in that case. Validators and delegators take tokens to secure the network and participate in governance. This is what's interesting to me, is because I did try to look throughout this website. Again, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. If you do know where I can find more information about their DAO, I can't find anything about the DAO that is readily available to me on a click of a button, right? And that for me is like, okay, I start to worry, because it tells me about governance, and it tells me that I'm going to have some sort of say in some sort of decentralized autonomous organization, but I I don't see anything regarding that, okay, information wise. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue moving on and see if we get more of it in a bit. MASA BitTensor subnet. I think this is the biggest value proposition, let's say, for MASA at the current moment, that it is a subnet of BitTensor. And you guys know here on the channel, we were a big we had a lot of conversation about Tau very, very early on. We got into the project, we started analyzing the project really early, deep dives and all of that. And we know how Tau has been very, very bullish, even in the bear market. We saw the way Tau has been behaving with price action. Now, all of a sudden, MASA being a subnet or using the Tau boilerplate to create their own L1, which is quite interesting, because really what we want to see is some of the liquidity from Tau and within the Tau ecosystem maybe be transferred to MASA and any other projects that use the subnet, the BitTensor subnet. So this is good stuff. This is ultimately something interesting, knowing that Tau is a DPIN protocol and all of that. It definitely offers a value proposition to MASA altogether, and the branding behind Tau is absolutely great to have here on the website. So this is not just, a matter of putting a logo and that's it. This is a matter of a really good, let's say, relationship, not even a partnership. It's a relationship that they have here because of the ecosystem, and the connection of Tau and MASA ecosystem is really good here. Okay, so this is a positive 100%. Earn MASA and Tau do a reward system. Good stuff. I'm sure a lot of people find that interesting. Now, backed by prestigious investors, this is where we get with, the logos, right? We got to be really, critical about them. I'm going to just quickly kind of, pick out the ones that are interesting to me and focus on strategic partnerships and, what is actually a relationship that has value. It is CoinList, Launchpad. Launchpads are great. They're almost like considered incubators, right? So Hashly and Binance right now are incubated the project, which means that they're going to get their hands held throughout the process of getting listed and deploying and so on, which is great, almost like a mentorship program, right? So that's just good. And the Launchpad obviously providing all the marketing and all the early stage distribution and all of that kind of stuff, and making things a little bit easier with regards to getting it out there to the general public. So this is all good stuff. I'm really bullish on the Binance incubation, as long as that's valid, right? We got to assume it's valid. Binance incubation, obviously Tau, this, that. We're seeing some really big names and really big things happening right now so far here. MASA is backed by, again, a few more Animoca brands. I don't really, honestly, I don't focus too much on the rest of this, but we got Anagram, DCG, Republic, and Rubik, and GSR. But Animoca brands, I think, is one of the bigger logos that we can identify here. And it says backed by, which means that they have some power. They most likely, they're VCs, guys. They're most likely VCs. Backed means backed by what? Capital, most likely. Okay, so keep that in mind. Fair AI developer ecosystem. Again, I'm not sure how this all intertwines, but we have some really good logos again. If they were bullish on these logos, they would have provided good documentation. But I'm very happy about seeing Sleepless. This is a project that people are buzzing about. GT Protocol. I see a Unibase. Another one, Spectral. We can't forget Spectral, based on base, right? We know that MASA's contract, according to CoinGecko, is an EVM compatible contract. Okay, let me just quickly show you what I mean. If we go on CoinGecko, you can see that we have Ethereum and BNB, and we also have AVAX Explorer. So you can see that it just needs a little bit of a revamp here as to what's going on, like what it really is and where it's being launched. And is it on the Tau boilerplate? Is it cross-chain? It could be cross-chain. In fact, it could be chain agnostic, right? And that would be definitely bullish. Okay, so let's just keep on going on. We're just kind of going through all of this and trying to make sense of it. And then global media, obviously, these are great. This is good. Getting this project shilled across all kinds of Web2 traditional outlets, CNBC, and so on. World Economic Forum. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, guys. You let me know. What do you think? NASDAQ, traditional finance, and all kinds of stuff here happening, guys. bullish, bearish, neutral. At the end of the day, coverage is coverage, and good publicity, bad publicity is all publicity. And at the end of the day, there is some value here with all of this. So good stuff. Anyway, let's move on. Join the thriving community. They got a Discord and they got a Telegram, which both are very inactive. They have them, they're there. I asked some questions and I wanted to know a little bit more about their token distribution, and no response. A lot of dead air, which is not a good thing when you're trying to grow a community. So it's either they feel like that's not necessary because they got Binance and the World Economic Forum on their belt, but the reality is nothing beats a strong community, and I would suggest that maybe a little bit more action happens in there, and there should be some sort of moderator or somebody in there ready to mingle with the community. Okay, so that's that. Both of those major platforms, in my opinion, are currently unmanned and not being given the attention that is necessary. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look at some of this. Earn rewards. Okay, run a node, become a node worker to contribute to the network, and earn MASA and TAO rewards. Okay, we talked about this. This is where the infrastructure becomes decentralized, providing that data and so on, which is good. Then I'm curious as to how the AI agent, how the AI models work from a perspective of just the infrastructure itself. How is the language model or the models themselves working? What kind of infrastructure do they have? Like, is it a completely deep in? I think there's a little bit more of the tech that I would like to know, but I'm not going to get too deep into the tech. Right now, we know we're decentralized because we have nodes and anybody could get involved there. Now, stake MASA, again, we talked about that, stay in the support. This is all good. Earn, build, developer hub, validator. They got a lot of stuff here for developers. Ecosystem. The Dune dashboard is not really part of their ecosystem. It is a dashboard that can be used for any project. Technical white paper. Their white paper is a very, very technical white paper. I'll show you that in a second. I believe that MASA, what it needs to do is create a secondary type of a regular crypto white paper. One that is very typical. And mind you guys, I do deep dives, a lot of them, and I've seen white papers before. Both technical and crypto white papers. In my opinion, the crypto white paper is equally as important, right? All the information regarding the token, the tokenomics, and the strategy, the this, the that, it needs to be provided. The only white paper I see here on this website currently is the technical white paper. MASA token, we'll go onto that page, and the MASA bridge. So far, looking at their ecosystem, the MASA ecosystem consists of two things: the MASA token and the MASA bridge. I don't see anything else other than these two aspects according to their website. Okay, so and that, my opinion, is as a L1 or as a base, as a project that is looking to build an ecosystem, it looks like it's still in its infancy. It looks like it's still small, it's still very young, and it's expected to only have this at the current moment. Okay, so about MASA, if you look into that, you're not getting much. You got the blog, which we'll kind of scrape through in a second. Contact us and Media Kit. Unfortunately, there's no page with regards to the team. I went to the about page already. I'm not going to go there right now, but there's nothing really there with regards to the team. Being doxed is very important. In fact, let me just open it up to show you what the MASA about. I would like to see a little bit more of the page, and this about fair AI kind of bothers me because it makes us believe that it's a fair launch as far as the tokens goes. It's not a fair launch, and could it be that's the reason why they don't provide token distribution? And that could be the case. So I would like to know who the team is. And I was able to find a little bit about the team. So they are doxed. Let me correct myself a little bit here. They are doxed if you go and hunt them, if you go and figure them out. Now, they are not really doxed because they're not open about it right here on their website. Do they have to? I say it's good credibility given the tokenomics. Okay, so let's get right into all of that. Let's go into, this is their about. So fair AI powered by the people. Okay, decentralized AI network. We got that, the nodes and being able to contribute data. And about MASA, the fair AI. We did this already, guys. This is the about page. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this page. And then we're going to jump right into this. This is the MASA token. Okay, so this is where the magic happens for us as crypto investors looking for, the next moonshot, right? Get MASA. You can get it on Ethereum, Binance, and Base. Okay, these are the 3 chains. I see an Explorer on AVAX, and I think that may be a possibility. I saw it on CoinGecko. Again, a little bit of confusion there, maybe a bit of an update, but I try to put more emphasis and more reliability on the actual website. Okay, so this is where you can get it. A lot of good exchanges. I don't see any major exchanges, considering that it is part of the Binance incubator program. I am shocked that it's not here, or more so, I will be shocked that if it doesn't get listed one day. So this is in speculation. It should get listed if it's part of the incubator program, and it should get it listed on Binance eventually. Okay, so it's on PancakeSwap, given the fact that it's a Binance Smart Chain as well. So you got to understand that it's primed for that listing. Okay, so let's move on. What more ways to earn? Of course, 25% APY, MASA staking. That's a big APY. Look into it. Assume the risks with the high APY. The utility token powered by Fair AI. Again, a lot of repetition here. Governance, we talked about all of that. MASA tokenomics. Okay, so the max supply. It's a lot, 1.5 billion units plus, right? A lot of tokens, of course, but there's not many of them out in circulation. Now, if you look at the emission schedule, this is what they provide. And I'm just going to show you that this is the ending of the tokenomics. There's no token distribution. There's no nothing telling us exactly what to expect and how many tokens are held in certain wallets and so on. This is typical deep dive stuff, guys, right? So again, I'm going to repeat this, but I expect that the team have a Git book. The best thing is a Git book that gives you all the data, all the information for a retail investor. Okay, so if we click this emission schedule and we go to MASA, for example, you will see that this is what you get, which is not much, to be honest. This is this is what they call distribution. This is their MASA stake. There's no distribution here. There's nothing really, unless I'm missing something. Again, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm open for the discussion, but I don't see anything that is going to give me any indication of distribution, any type of emissions. Okay, so again, not good. And if you go to the white papers, I promised I would show you the white paper. It is a PDF. So a very concrete in 2023 May, so it's quite old now. Okay, and we're scrolling down, and you'll see that it's just a lot of math, and this is a very technical white paper. Okay, and that's it. More pages, you can get into a little bit more detail. A lot of math, a lot of physics, a lot of that. Just understand that this is not a typical crypto white paper. This is a technical white paper from a tech perspective. Bullish, but I'm not getting on this right now. Okay, we're talking about MASA as a crypto project, not a Web2 project. Okay, so let's move on. Now, if we're going to start to look at the real tokenomics, the reality is I had to go on a third-party crypto rank was there to provide. And again, MASA, this is the token. And if you start going down, we're going to rely on this. And I did kind of confirm it with CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap also provides some data as well if you're interested in looking at the distribution and all of that. But why not stick with CoinMarketCap? It's exactly the same thing. Now, you can see that the private sale, 26.6%. That's quite a bit private. So private ownership of these tokens. We have core team, another 25.6%, unlocked already 7.4%, and the rest of it is 18% is already still locked up. So we're waiting for that to be distributed. So we're seeing a bit of tokens already just off the bat. Private sale, core team, over 50% of the tokens to strategic investors, early stakeholders right here. Okay, that is not really the greatest. Okay, now if you go to the treasury, now what is the treasury? The treasury, by definition, is usually tokens that are held by the DAO, and they're usually voted on and how the treasury gets spent, like whether it be for marketing or calls or listings or liquidity listing or whatever the case is. Ultimately, it is controlled by the DAO. Now, since there's no information about the DAO and the governance, who is in control right now of this treasury, given that we already have 9.8% of the tokens unlocked, and there's a bunch of them ready to get unlocked as well, of course, according to the emission schedule. So this kind of bothers me, right? That's 20% of the tokens right there. Community rewards are only 10%. So the community is only going to get 10%. Now, could some of the treasury be transferred over to community? Sure, why not? But again, it's up to voting and it's up to the DAO. And at the current moment, I don't see anything related to that. So key partners and advisors, another 7% to early stakeholders. So key partners, who are they? They could be anybody, right? They could be partners that are early investors and advisors, early people that belong within the same group of private sale and core team. That is not a good look. And coin list community, I'm not sure what that is, but the reality is it is another 7%, right? Oracle staking rewards, again, more rewards. It's only 4%, but we start nickeling and diming for all these little percents. The reality is only 10% for the community is not a good look, and 50%, this I can't look the other way how bad this looks. Again, if they would have provided official documentation, I would have been a little bit more secure of the validity of all of this. But because I have to go to a third party to get this documentation, look, whether it's right or wrong, this is all we got here, guys. Okay, so with that being said, I found the blog post. Okay, let me just quickly continue this before I move on to the blog post. We can see that we have tokens being emitted slowly. Emissions is the schedule. We have the private sale coming out in April. We're going to have more tokens being unlocked. We have a linear unlock here of the core team. I understand they got to eat. Okay, so they're already getting paid. I get it. It's fine, but it's a lot. Just keep in mind, the team is also very large. We'll talk about that too. The treasury, almost all unlocked. Of course, they want liquidity to do what they got to do, but who's in control of that treasury? I don't see any information on who's in control of that right now. It's very centralized. Okay, it could be centralized. What do we know? And you can see lots of unlocks happening still. So the pressure is there for unlocks. Okay, and we got to understand that. Now, if you look at the emissions schedule, whereas this is the chart, this is the thing, this is pretty good, and time, this is the table. Let's see, we got a chart. Pretty good. This is the emissions. You can see bit by bit we're unlocking, and then we kind of flatline just a little bit once we reach around here. So we got some time until 2026, pretty much a whole year of sell pressure, and hopefully the bull run brings it enough demand that the buy pressure will outperform the sell pressure, and that's basically what we're hoping. In a bull run, it's very likely that happens. So the only thing that I can say is that the bear market might be very, very ruthless against MASA, because all these people, if they decide to hold and ride the wave for the bull run to the upside, believe it or not, at any sign of weakness, they will be taking profit. Why? Because people will be in severe profit with lots of tokens unlocked at the top where things start to flatline. Okay, in a bear market, that is the prime area to expect a full retracement, 886, down to 95% retracement on a lot of the projects that are getting massive unlocks throughout a bull run. People won't sell then in a bull run, but they'll sell at any signs of a bear market. So keep that all in mind, okay, guys? So not, at least the clarity is here. It's not on their website, but it's here. Now I want to just jump onto that website on the blog post. This is fair launch by the people. It's not fair launch, as you can see, and you can see this was the tokenomics, MASA tokenomics. Introducing MASA. I just want to show you what they provided here on this blog. And you guys know I'm not crazy about blog posts as being official documentation. Okay, so if they wanted to be official, they should have it on their website. They should have a Git book. And now it does look like in their official design, but I couldn't find that on the website. MASA holders, you can see core team, and they don't even provide percentages per se, but they do. You do see how the private and the core team hold a bunch of tokens. It's quite a bit. Okay, and so it seems like crypto rank is actually valid as far as its data goes. And key partners and advisors, you can see that these three right here, it's too much. It's way too much. And the pressure, guys, again, this looks very similar to what CoinMarketCap and crypto rank has been showing us. You can see that right around here, we kind of flatline a little bit, but we got a lot of sell pressure coming in for a lot of the rewards and a lot of the ecosystem. And it says ecosystem growth treasury, but what do we know, guys? At this point, I don't see anything regarding treasury. So this is what they got, and this was posted. Let's see when it was posted, when it was published. Published for, it's a format, February 21st to 2024. So, you know, it's not that old, but still official documentation on a Medium blog post, not a good thing for me. Okay, so more official, get it on a Git book, make it a working document, get your communications marketing team on it so that we can get valid information updated every couple of months and get a roadmap. By the way, guys, I couldn't find a roadmap for this thing. This project needs a roadmap. We need to know where you're allocating, where the MASA project is allocating their human capital and also capital in general. Where are they going with things? Where's the next step for MASA? You don't have to give us a daily time frame. What we want to know is quarterly. Let us know where you're going quarterly so that we can allocate our capital accordingly. That's all we would really ask for as a retail investor. We want to know where the mission is. We want to be on board with that mission and show us the path so we can get on board, so we can engage on social, so we can make some noise. Without a roadmap, we don't know where we're going. We're being led into uncharted territory without leadership, and that's what a roadmap does. It shows us where we're going with things. Okay, so amazing if it would have it here right on the website, on a Git book, and so on. Let's move on. Again, they got their MASA Medium page with lots of updates, fair AI universe, real-time data powered by sentient AI agents. They're moving into that. So they got Virtuals, Protocol, and MASA getting together there, doing something. Again, these are partnerships or relationships. Strategic partnerships or relationships are very, very important to take a look at. Again, there's a lot of reading material. It looks pretty good. I think that the relationships are on point. They're great for what they got. And again, there's a lot. Revokes, they got a lot of good stuff happening. And you saw before Character X, which is good, a lot of good ones. And of course, the BitTensor relationship there is crazy good. I think a lot of people will be bullish on that. Now, I went on their X page to see how they're actively getting involved here. Lots of good stuff, you know, Tau rewards. They got a bot here. Meet Lambot. Lambot is a sad AI agent. They got AI agents going at it already, and you can see lots of good stuff. Okay, lots of cool stuff going on here. And posts, 262 likes, 300 likes, 200 likes, so very consistent. This one, considering it's an hour, okay, not bad. And how many subscribers or followers do they have? 300,000. I expected a little bit more liking for a 300,000 follower count, right? You expect a little bit more engagement. Only 200, that's not a lot, right? So it's about quality engagement or quality followers rather than just numbers. And you know, I've seen accounts that are much smaller get the same amount of likes, and that means that their follow click-through rate is much higher, given that the followers are high quality. Okay, so this is good. At least we got some numbers here. 2,000, almost 3,000 posts, guys. Crazy stuff. Okay, so we'll do a recap about some of the data on their socials in a second when I give you that recap. Let's look at the team. The MASA AI. I was able to find them on LinkedIn. Okay, so decentralized network for fair AI, where you earn by contributing data. Okay, so you look at the team, guys. It is a fairly large team. This is the founder. Okay, so that's that. And there's a co-founder right here, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a lot of blockchain AI stuff. We got, you know, developers, a blockchain enthusiast and developer, marketing director. I think a little bit more there with regards to marketing needs to be done to tidy things up. A head of business development, full stack developers, Web3 guru, like, you know, a software engineer, network. There's a lot happening here. This is a full-on team, which of course is great, and this is what we want to see in a project. Manager, contributor to Web3, ambassador and community. So there's a lot happening. There's ambassadors, all kinds of stuff here. So I'm going to focus primarily on the founder, Brendan. You know, San Francisco, and you can see the MASA finance. This is where the ambiguity comes in, guys. Okay, I'm going to let you know it's either MASA was once a finance project and they pivoted to AI, So I'm not sure where this is going, but MASA Finance and then MASA here, and he's the founder and he's full time, and this is it. Now I'm assuming that this is the right project. I'm assuming this is the same project. Again, if it's not, it's up to the team to make things clear so that we are comfortable with things. And we got more like credit and lending API for banks. We can see why MASA would have been considered a good pick for finance, because this individual, this founder, has a finance background, so which is good. And fintech, Bureau Blockchain Incubator in San Francisco, founder partner. So he's involved in Web3 and all of this. This is a prime candidate for such a project. Masters of Science in Physics, Bachelors of Science, natural science, good stuff there. A very intelligent individual. So, good. I see a lot of talent so far. And then we have a co-founder apparently, and this co-founder, let's see if where's the co-founder? Sorry guys, right here, co-founder. Interesting stuff, because it looks like this person is completely business, tech entrepreneur, co-founder at MASA. Very good. Georgetown University, foreign service, MASA network. If we go down, we start looking at experience, co-founder, MASA network, full-time, MASA building the real-time data network for AI. So she has the correct description, whereas the founder himself, the co-founder, the other founder, basically has that financial description. It's a bit confusing to me. Vice President of Business Development, acquired by, so you can see it seems like this individual's pure business. Now, investor, PayPal Ventures, full-time hire at PayPal Ventures, history in finance, history in this type of stuff, guys. It's good. Look, I'm interested. I just want a little bit more clarity from a lot of this, because without clarity, there's introduces risk. Clarity is good. Bringing it full circle is good. Ultimately, everything that we've been given so far here on LinkedIn is pretty good. Okay, you can see solid team, lots happening, good stuff here from MASA. All right, guys. As usual, I do provide a full-on review or recap of the project. So here it is, MASA. It's an overview. Guys, I'm going to put this on all the socials, so you can use it as a cheat sheet as you keep on, navigating these markets. Let's quickly get into some of the main points that we discussed today. Ecosystem, all I could really find at the current moment is MASA token and the MASA bridge. Although because it is a L1, or it is a, it is like an L1. It's not really an L1, but because now it uses the subnet of Tau, it should be considered an L1. It's coming up with its own ecosystem. Right now, MASA token and MASA bridge is all it has. And it's pretty typical for the L1 not to have this massive internal ecosystem or its own proprietary ecosystem, but it wants to build an ecosystem on top where projects get built on the L1, and I'm expecting that to happen. Right now, I wasn't even really be able to see any of that, unfortunately, but I think it's still very young, and this could be the case. So let's see what happens here. I don't want to give it too much of a low score because it's still early, right? So we gotta be real with the current stage that it is in its product life cycle. Okay, so it's very early. So the utility, incentivizing data supply, accessing data services, staking and rewards, governance participation is something that I expect a little bit more detailed in. It is a big part of a value proposition, especially when you're referring to a decentralized governance or autonomous organizations. So I'm expecting a little bit more detail there, but overall it's not bad. Utility could be improved based on that, but 8 out of 10, it's not too bad. Roadmap, no roadmap. Unfortunately, I don't know where they're going with things. I would love to know a little bit more detail, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. And the team is doxed. I wish there was a little bit more info on the website, but there isn't. It's a large team with lots of experience and lots of talent, and it's great, no doubt. Pretty decent team there. Socials, not bad. They got a lot of followers, 200,000 followers, and they've been getting a bit of followers in the last little while. 476 in the last month, however, down 15% in comparison to the previous month. So maybe in the previous month, we're getting maybe 500 followers. It doesn't matter. Still 476 followers, not too bad. And the amount of posts, guys, they've been cranking out posts in the last 30 days, up 194%. which is good. They're getting active there on the socials, and which is something that we really want to see. Tokenomics, a little bit of an issue. Vesting schedule with unlocks, you know that they're going to be coming throughout the entire bull run. That's something that we got to expect. 50% plus is allocated to early stakeholders, a bit of an issue. Of course, you guys know tokenomics, could provide a lot of pressure, sell pressure, and because of a lot of the tokens being allocated towards early stakeholders, it is not a good look, right? That's something that keeps me, a little bit at bay. Approximately 20, allocated to a treasury to the DAO. We don't know what's going on with as far as that capital goes. There's about 20% allocated to the treasury, but where's the DAO to govern it? Who's really governing this capital? That's concerning to me, and it's quite a bit amount of capital. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Relationships incubated by Binance, I think that's the biggest one. Backed by Animoca Brands, of course, that's another big one, and a lot of media coverage across both Web 2 and Web 3 type of media sources. So good stuff. Okay, so that's 10 out of 10 right there. And exchanges, there's opportunity here because it's very likely that it gets listed on Binance, given the fact that it's part of their incubator program. I would expect that to be the case, right? But ultimately it's not there yet. So is that an opportunity? For sure. Currently it is listed on some good exchanges, like we have MEXC, CoinEx, KuCoin, Bitmart, BitTrue, and a few others, that kind of resemble the mid to low tier type of exchanges, and a few more out there that they're listed on. But the opportunity is the major exchanges. So once we get those listings, it's not going to be 6 out of 10, it will be higher, and that could be considered or should be considered an opportunity. Just keep in mind that the overall market cap here is an $81 million market cap. It is a very small project. Okay, so just keep this in mind. It's very small, lots of upwards potential. Trading volume is really decent. Approximately 24% of the market cap is currently in trading volume, and the supply, it represents 24% of the max supply. So as you know, there's more tokens to be released. We got to anticipate that that's the issue right now. And as far as tokenomics goes, that's the pressure that we're going to have to face. Now, if you look at some of the verdict that I got here, I did discuss a lot of it about it already. It's an AI narrative, subnet of Tau. It is EVM compatible, and a lot of the Ethereum based chains are present. No details about the DAO. Again, I'm repeating that. Seem to have a pivot from a DeFi to AI. It could be. It's because of the confusion of its identity across the internet, across the many of the socials and stuff. I don't know where it is with regards to that. So a little bit of clarity would be good. Communications on the website, or maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure, but a revamp on a lot of it needs to be redone. And sometimes it's hard to take for the team to take back what it has done in the past. It's going to linger, right? It's going to linger. That's the issue right there. Tokenomics documentation not readily available, like distribution. I had to use a third-party website. A nice official website with official Git book would be necessary, and it would definitely be improved. And documentation, communication would be improved by using a Git book. I like Git books because of that. It's a working document. They could get in there every couple of months and make updates and so on. And of course, giving us a roadmap would be absolutely solid. Telegram is not active. Discord is not active. What I mean by that, there's not a lot of happening on there. They have them, they're present. However, there's not much happening, and that shows you that there's not much of a community. Unfortunately, we need to see some community there. It's very healthy to have community. It's very powerful to have a bit of those pumpamentals. Okay, so what do I think about MASA as far as a target? Guys, this is a projection. This is where I could see it going if the market continues showing its true colors for a bull run, and we keep on moving to the upside. And projects like this hitting $1 billion is very doable, and I'm looking very optimistic here. It could easily hit a $3 price tag, maybe a 10, a 12x, given that its current market cap. Look, ecosystem growth is very necessary for this objective or this projection to be hit. We need to see a lot of utility. We need to see a lot of capital being flowed into MASA. But as a small cap project, it doesn't take a lot for it to move. So it could be a really good opportunity. I give it 7 out of 10. It's got a little bit more things that it needs to accomplish in the immediate short term for me to be really, really bullish, but it's still not bad of a play to get slowly involved and get some of that exposure. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of the charts, because I know you're here to talk about price action as well. So let's begin. Now, we can see that MASA did get a nice little pump here right after this retracement. Now, we got to really look back in time and really see and reflect on where MASA came from. The reality is MASA came from a rock bottom price of about 3 cents, and it started rallying up really, really strong. And I think it could be because of the pivot into AI and the announcements of with Tao and the subnet and all of that kind of stuff really, really got this thing going, which is good. And you can see my green arrows where we started discussing this both on the live stream and perhaps even on the Discord. We've been talking about these entries right around this flat, nice floor price that we can see here with tons of volume. And again, I'm going to ask you, what do you think these people were doing here? Right? They were accumulating. These goons right here were accumulating, preparing. And if you zoom in a little bit, beautiful rounded bottom. And all of a sudden, we got a nice lift off and started expanding to the upside. Now, all of a sudden, you know, maybe it is a little bit late. It is a little bit late, given that we even got another opportunity to get in on a, you know, in a level where we got de-risked, you know, getting support off the 200 daily EMA, you know, getting support right here into this volume gap. And again, another level that was identified here, and all of a sudden we're going up for another extension level. And you know what I'm going to say here, guys, this is very risky. You know, it's very risky after multiple expansions, multiple moves to the upside, after changing from bearish sentiment to bullish sentiment. We're moving. This is a pivot point structure right now. You can see that lower lows and lower highs to higher highs and higher lows. Now all of a sudden it is viable. It is absolutely normal if this thing went sideways for a little while you know, people speculate that maybe it's a bit risky as it keeps on going. You can see that there's still a little bit more to be you know accounted for to reach its previous high. But what a dump up there. I don't know what happened there, but you know, a lot of projects come in and they're overvalued and then they get dumped on. But the reality is, guys, if we went sideways to produce a beautiful cup and handle right into this level, I would be interested with a stop loss and maybe accumulate within that range and continue to the upside. My only thing is here, guys, is that you're taking risk because you're buying into a pump. That's the only concern. Now, there is some horizontal support here. As you can see, volume picks up quite a bit. If we decide to dip, if Bitcoin decides to dip, if the market decides to go south a little bit for the next little while, we could potentially consolidate here. We could even potentially hunt a little bit of liquidity down here, maybe about 17 cents, and then eventually get its pop and break high and go for another structural break for a higher high. That is also very possible. The worst case scenario, guys, is that we come down back to these levels. Okay, this is where emotions are at. This is where a lot of people, you know, are hoping that they never get their entries, you know, liquidated. And usually the market tends to want to induce a bit of pain. So we got to keep in mind that those are good levels. I don't know if we're going to get them, to be honest, but those are the levels that I would be comfortable in. And let me put some green arrows so that we can be clear. If we get structure, I'm interested. This is a good level. Stop loss underneath. Expect maybe a little bit of a liquidity grab down here, maybe a hunt, you know, a little bit, and DCA. Then next level, worst case scenario, is a full-on retracement coming down to very emotional levels down here where I would be packing a bigger bag and looking for pivot point structures and reversal patterns. Let's quickly look at oscillators here on the daily. You can see that the momentum is already overbought. Expansion is coming in full force, nice and green. Momentum is overbought already. We could kind of hesitate here a little while, get a few more pumps to the upside, but really look what happens after we get overbought. The reality is that we start coming down for a dip. Guys, everything right now in the MASA price is really heated. You can see this really hot. It hasn't really gotten a real retracement to oversold conditions in a good while. Could it happen soon? It could be possible. The thing is that, look, we got to understand, look at this. It's been up here. So you're taking chance. You're taking risk in a very bullish, some really bullish price structure. The problem is that do you become exit liquidity here? This is my major concern. We do see EMAs facing up, green histogram bars. Everything is looking really good here in the bullish control zone. Is the bullish moment over? Are we waiting for a retracement? Let's take it to 4 hour. 4 hour volatility is already done. Momentum looks like it's kind of like peaking out here. Maybe we get a confirmation high at lower high and start coming down on the 4 hour. At best, at least wait for a 4 hour retracement or reset of momentum and trend. Look at the EMAs facing down. Red histogram bars here on MASA. So on the 4 hour, we're starting to show a bit of weakness. We could come down for that dip. Okay, so be prepared. 1 hour, maybe 1 hour. 1 hour is slowly dripping down, a little bit of indecision. I'm not really crazy about trading the 1 hour because it could kind of be a little bit indecisive in the next little bit. So it's the 4 hour, guys. I would be watching the 4 hour. If I were looking for entries, I would wait for a full hour momentum reset, a full 4 hour reset on trend, a back test on support, and then I would get in. Now, if you're suffering from FOMO at the current moment and you want to buy, get in, guys, buy a little bit. satisfy the FOMO and buy a little bit, because yeah, I don't know where this thing's gonna go. We could end up flying up to $3 right now. What do I know? But what I do know is this: I do know that the market is frothy. I do know that right now this chart is making higher highs and higher lows, and you are buying, even if it is a local top, you are buying a top, and that's where you become exit liquidity, even if it means a short-term slight retracement to about 18.3 cents, or a worst-case scenario coming down and hunting liquidity into this level, coming down to as low as maybe about 10 cents. That would be the buy opportunity. Obviously, we got to take it day by day. Obviously, we got to keep in mind that there's a lot of volume coming into this push to the upside, but it's hard when you're going to be looking in green lightsabers like that and expect not to take any risk. All right, guys, so that's that. If I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. If you want to vote on the next deep dive, join the Discord. It's absolutely free. You can request deep dives and we vote on the next deep dive for next week, so feel free to join. Obviously, all the links in the descriptions are there for all the socials. If you want to join me live tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action, feel free. It's free, obviously, and I take requests. If you have any projects you want me to cover, that is a great time and place to make those requests. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.